Thank you. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is inside, we're changing blog posts. In other words, when you go to blog, it's not going to be blog. It's going to be home, about us, services, portfolio. Instead of blog, we're going to change this to resume. You're going to put your resume here as a clickable link, and we're going to put over here your cover letter, your resume, actual resume, same as here, like a quick link here. This is going to be your cover letter of or your first objective statement, all right? And we can get rid of the date. We won't need it. So you're going to put your resume here as a link. When you click it, it's going to go to your resume. We'll put a follow-up letter. We'll put a cover letter, your actual resume, and then we'll put a follow-up letter. And this one we will put your letters of recommendation. Letter of recommendation here. And we can add links here if you wanted to add links for letters of recommendation. All right? You can also keep this as your resume and make this strictly letters of recommendation. All right? So first things first, we're going to make this first resume section. So we'll go into the blog section. We're going to hit Control F. We'll find blog. And blog is written right up here and it goes to the blog section. For CSS, I'm going to leave it as blog. I'm not going to change it for that, but I will change this to resume. And now it says resume up here, which is exactly what we want. Now, let's go back to the other blog, Control F, blog. Going into here now. Now, instead of blog posts, which is written right here, blog post, we're going to change it to resume. Resume, and there is your resume. So on the first one, the date, this P tag, we're not going to necessarily need that P tag there. So I'll get rid of this P tag. See you later. You could put the date if you wanted, which is totally alright. Now, over here is where you're going to link your resume, and this is where you're going to put your objective or your cover letter. So I have a cover letter here. I am submitting my resume with your consideration, blah, 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 blah. You're going to take this information and you will then go into, because you want that to be here in this section over here. So we'll come here and we'll just put that information in really quick from your cover letter. If you don't have a cover letter, you're making one. And a resume and a follow-up letter. I have templates for it. So we'll paste this in. There it is. So there's your beginning stages of it. Now, instead of quick tip for embedding Google Maps, we're going to put my resume. What we'll do with this one is we could put, my resume. All right. We'll make this one my resume, and that's that. Now we'll save it, file, save all, and right here. So when we go to resume, you have your resume here. You can click it and nothing goes. This will be in turn your resume, which will be a separate page. But we're going to make it a PDF file. So it's going to open up directly to your resume where someone could print it. Here's how we do that. We're going to open up your resume, which I have opened up a cover letter right here. All right, let's just look at it from the very beginning. Here is my resume cover letter, my actual resume, and my follow-up letter. I'm going to open up my cover letter first. I'm going to go to Save As, a PDF, printable document format. I'm going to save it inside my subfolder, which is default. Mine is default one-page responsive. I will make another folder called PDF. PDFs, plural. All right. In this folder, I will resume cover letter. I will just call it cover letter. Dash letter. Cover letter. And you can put your name as well. Publish. Put it there. Good. There's an example of it. That's the cover letter. Done. Let's open up the resume. File. Save as. PDF. Goes in where? Desktop. Default one-page responsive. I know it. PDFs, not the cover letter. This is going to be my resume now. I'll just call it resume. Resume. Publish. Good. Resume is published. And this is just a dummy resume. It's a fake one. John Doe, blah, 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 just as an example. Get out of that one. Open up your follow-up letter. File, save as, PDF. Desktop, one-page responsive, default, goes into PDFs. Cover letter, resume, and follow-up letter. I like that. Follow-up letter. Oopsie. Bam. Good. Follow-up letter. I'm with it. That looks great. Let's just connect this one with a dash and follow-up letter. Let's just make it lowercase, make them all unified. Publish. Good. And there it is. So there's the follow-up letter. A follow-up letter is after you've been interviewed, just a follow-up letter where you include, one or two things that you've discussed with the person hiring you, just to show that you've been paying attention and that you anticipate on doing the job skills that they requested of you. All right, it shows you're a go-getter. Do it. All right, so that's a follow-up letter. Now here's how we link these. I want to link my resume into this link, in this href link. So I'm going to go into here. I know that it is in PDFs, and if I go into here, it's going to go into my resume. Click resume itself. Resume PDF. I want it to open up in a blank section. So we'll leave it as that. Let me just see. Oh wait, hold on. Well, let's just leave it at that for now, alright? Resume, PDF, so it opens up. File, save all. Let's see how it looks. Refresh the file. Click on your resume. It opens up directly to your resume. Okay? So now, when someone is in here in your website, oh, let me see this guy's resume or gal's resume. There it is, my resume. You should put your name up here. So you will put in mine, I'll put Dino Reese. Dino Reese resume. Save all, and there it is. Let's refresh it. Dino Reese resume, my resume. I am submitting my resume with the consideration of there's your cover letter information, there's your resume. Now, over here, we'll just link your cover letter and your follow-up letter. And these, you can do the same exact thing, but this would be letters of recommendation. So let's just do one more for my resume. Let's put my cover letter, resume, and follow-up letter within these three links. And this will be a letter of recommendation where you will link it the same way that we did this one. I'll do one for you, all right? So I'll do one dummy. I'm going to pretend that I have a letter of recommendation, which will be right here. This is written by my superior. It is a beautiful letter of recommendation. I'm going to simply call this file. I'll center everything, and I'm going to call it letter of recommendation. Okay? Whoopsie. Letter of recommendation. All right, I'm going to save this as a PDF inside my PDFs folder, which is on the desktop, inside of one page responsive PDFs. This will be a reference letter. Reference letter. And we'll divide it up by a dash. Good. Publish. All right. So there's my letter of recommendation. All right. So now we got this done. I don't need that anymore. All right. Let's get right to it then. Whatchamacallit? All right. Back to business. We're going to link. This is already linked with your resume. Now I am going to link as separate PDF pages. This is going to be your cover letter, resume, follow-up letter, letter of recommendation. I'll keep the dates. You can change those dates if you wanted to. It's real easy. You just change these dates right here in this P tag. So for portfolio 1, it's here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's portfolio. You will go down to your blog right here. There's your first one. You know that information is right here for your first one. Creating simple, blah, blah, blah. That's this one. So I'll make it to January 7th, 2015. We'll change these to whatever dates they are, all right? I'll just make them 15 so you can see where the dates go. 2015s. All right. Now, this one is going to be my cover letter. This one is going to be my resume. I'm taking my date off of here, though. I'll leave the date up. Why not? And this one will be my follow-up letter. Follow-up letter. This will be my letter of recommendation. I just want to make sure I spelled recommendation correctly because I'm terrible with that word over there. Huh, of course not. There it is. saw how I got that. And make sure you spell your words right. I do that because it's good for SEO, search engine optimization. Now, let's get right to it. My resume is already put in there. It's in PDFs and resume. I know that for my cover letter, all I got to do is go to PDFs. PDFs, it is in my cover letter. There it is. Easy as pie. This one is my resume. Believe it or not, it's the same exact link as this one. I can actually highlight this exact link for the resume. I can copy it and I can put it right in here. Paste. Control V is paste. Resume. This one is going to be my cover letter. So I go to PDFs. It divides it up into the subfolder. Follow-up letter. There it is. And last one is my letter of recommendation. PDF files, folder rather, subfolder. It is letter of recommendation, reference letter. There it is. So let's save it all. Let's see how it looks. Refresh it. All right. So there you have it. So my resume. This is your cover letter, your resume, follow-up letter, and letter of recommendation. Click on your cover letter. Bam. There's your cover letter. Printable and everything from any location. Resume. Same thing. Beautiful resume. And this one is your follow-up letter. Same thing. Now, everyone's got specific needs. So let's say you have a killer resume and you have a lot of letters of recommendation. Well, you could put your resume here, and in front of this you could put your cover letter. The next page can be your follow-up letter, and the next page can be your resume and then your follow-up letter. And if you wanted to, this can only be your resume and this will just be your letters of recommendation. It depends on you. But what I'm going to require for this section is you can either do it this way, where you put your resume. You're going to make a cover letter, a resume, and a follow-up letter, and they're going to go, and you're also going to make up one letter of recommendation. If you don't have letters of recommendation, you're going to make up a spot for them to live until you have one, because eventually in your life you're going to need one. So this is where it will live. All right? So you got letters of recommendation, your follow-up letter, a resume itself, which is essential today in the workforce, a cover letter, and you have a link and the first blurb of your cover letter right here. All right? So this is for the blog section, which is now called a resume section. All right? We know how to change the P tags. We know how to put the links in where they go directly to your information. There's the resume, cover letter, your resume itself, which I opened here. I'll open it, and follow up. That's the follow-up letter. Thank you for your time spent reviewing my application. And last will be the letter of recommendation, which you saw already. All right? Have fun and good luck.